This is from a lady named Shelley Buckman, and she wants to know, with the big wedding here yesterday in England and all, and a mixing of a different kind of bloodline with a woman who is of mixed race, if this somehow changes the potential outcome for what the royal family offers into the world.
No. First of all, what we're seeing is a rebranding of royalty in an effort to survive into the next generation. The major players up to this point, the Queen, Prince Philip, even Prince Charles, are getting older and older in life. And they are wishing to sell this young generation of Harry and Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton and Prince William as the new generation of royalty, and to rebrand them as of the people. But the rebranding of privilege is not to end the privilege, it's to retain the privilege and the support for the privilege in a changing world. So there won't be changes in the way that royal birth gives you a lifetime of privilege and servants and luxury. It will just be sold in a different way. And the words you're going to see over and over again are two: modern and modernizing. These are going to be the buzzwords of the rebranding. And I was saying that to people a few weeks ago when this started to come into the news. And if you looked at some of the coverage, I didn't see much of the coverage yesterday. I certainly didn't see the wedding itself, but I watched a bit of the build-up when I was putting things on social media. And I kept hearing the word modern and modernizing, and that's what we're going to hear. We're going to see virtue signaling galore from them, particularly Meghan Markle, who's started it already, as being of the people, and we're on your side. And you see things like little ruses, like when Meghan Markle went to a working class area in South London, she wore a £45 Marks and Spencer department store jumper because she was of the people, because it was a working class area. But in the same period, her dress for her engagement pictures cost £65,000. Her wedding dress in this Windsor Castle wedding cost apparently upwards of £100,000. So it doesn't change. The way it's sold changes, and this doesn't change. We have a head of state in Britain because of who had sex with who in what order, which dictates the line of succession. And we should not forget either that we don't have a people's government in Britain. Its official name is Her Majesty's government. We don't have a people's opposition party in Britain. We have what is officially called Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. It's Her Majesty's Tax Office. We don't have British ambassadors around the world. We have Her Majesty's ambassadors. The American ambassador to Britain is not the American ambassador to Britain. He's the ambassador to the Court of St. James, I think they call it. It's to Her Majesty. So, and none of that is going to change. And so it's the propaganda changes, the privilege doesn't.
Ryan asked the question that people like you would seem to be in a lot of danger because you go so against all of the establishments. But you're still here. And people wonder, I've heard many people say this, why hasn't David Icke been taken out?
well, a bit negative, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Well, I want to go into that reality with them humans and be a human and try to make a difference. But if I try, they'll kill me. Well, what's the point in coming then? What's the point? It's an expression of giving our power away to these people. You know the power that this manipulation has over us, and that which is behind the manipulation. You know, it's real power. The perception that it has power. When I look at the Queen and I look at royalty and I look at the politicians across the river from where we're sitting now in the Houses of Parliament, I look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is president of the United States. I mean, who's going to run next? Donald Duck. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the man's suffering from arrested development. He's never really grown up, and he's still, when I see him, I see him sitting in his little fenced off area playing with his toys, and we've given our power away to these people, and that's the point. We give our power away to them.
You simply don't give your power away when it comes to you, your life force, and so forth.
I create my own reality. Everyone creates their own reality. The difference is we create our reality from our perceptions of reality. So the question is, are those perceptions going to come from us, or are we going to download our perceptions externally, and those perceptions become our reality? In other words, is someone else going to download our perceptions which become our reality, or are they coming from us? And those downloaded perceptions say, I'm just little me. And so when I start talking out of turn about this system, they can just kill me. My perception is they can't. They don't have the power to, because they can only impact on my experienced reality, which is an illusion, a projection of my mind, if I allow in the possibility that they could do that. I do not allow that in. They cannot do that. Therefore, they won't.
So the choice is you choose to live.
Yeah, I choose to dictate when I leave here instead of letting someone else dictate it through my perception that they can dictate it.
On that one note, very briefly, the one positive thing that everybody can do to reclaim the big I, the true self, and disconnect from the matrix.
Stop self-identifying with labels. I am ours, as I call them, and start realizing that we are consciousness, a point of attention within infinite consciousness, having a series of experiences we give labels to. The difference is that we are encouraged to self-identify with the labels. So you say to people, who are you? And they'll give you a list of labels. I am a man, woman, black, white, Jewish, Hindu, bus driver, banker. These are all labels. They're not who we are. And if you identify with labels, then you identify with limitation. When you self-identify with being consciousness, having the experiences we give labels to, then you are self-identifying with infinite possibility, and your life changes. And if I choose from infinite possibility, or don't choose from infinite possibility, that these characters can take me out, then they can't take me out. They don't have the power to. I have to give them that power. I choose not to give it to them. And this is the same with all experiences that we have. We can choose what we let in and choose what we let out, and that comes from our perception of possibility. And I choose to come from the perception of being all possibility and not a few labels of possibility, which is what we are pressured to self-identify with from cradle to grave.
David, thank you. That question was from Eve Land, by the way.
Hello,
thank
Eve.
You so much for
How's Adam, by the way? You all right?
Thank you, David.